I'm Anil Kumar, and in this video I have taken up an example which is an inequality of a polynomial which can be factored. X to the power of 4 minus 13x squared plus 36 is less than or equal to 0. So we can use the techniques learned for factoring quadratic functions, which is product and sum, and factor this one. So we are looking for two numbers whose product is 36 and the sum of those numbers is minus 13. So 9 times 4 is 36, both negative, will give us a product of positive 36 and sum of minus 13, right? So this function we could write as x to the power of 4 minus, since this is 4 and 2, so we'll now split minus 13x squared as combination of these two, right? So it is minus 9x squared minus 4x squared plus 36 less than or equal to 0. Now we can group factor. X squared is common in the first two terms, so we get x squared minus 9. The next two terms we have 4 common, so we get x squared minus 9, which is less than or equal to 0. X squared minus 9 is a common factor. We get x squared minus 4 less than or equal to 0. These are difference of squares, so they could be written as x plus 3 times x minus 3 times x plus 2 times x minus 2. So that is the factored form of the given polynomial equation of degree 4. Now we'll see how to solve inequalities. Steps to solve inequalities involve finding zeros. So zeros in this case are at, we can say, minus 3, plus 3, minus 2, and plus 2. You should remember that it is only at zeros that the function sign can change from negative to positive or positive to negative. It may remain same also at times, right? So it makes sense to test intervals between these zeros. So the method being adopted here is to test the intervals. So we'll use the method which we'll say test intervals, and then we will kind of confirm our solution with the help of a graph. Okay, so these intervals in a plane are divided because of the zeros. So we have 4 zeros. 4 zeros will mean 5 intervals, right? So let me show you how. So what we do here is we'll write 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros here. Let me use some more area from here. Okay, so we'll use the right side to do the analysis and then come back to the left side to discuss further. So let me write down all the zeros first. On the leftmost zero is minus 3, so let me write it here on the line itself. Then we have minus 2, and then we have a 0 at 2, and then at 3. So these are the zeros. Now these zeros, as I said, divide the plane into intervals. The intervals are from minus infinity to minus 3. This one is from minus 3 to minus 2. This is from minus 2 to 2. This is from 2 to 3, and that one is from 3 to infinity. 4 zeros will mean 5 intervals, correct? Now in each interval we will try to test the sign, right, so of the factors. Factors for us are, let me write the factor because of minus 3 is x plus 3, because of minus 2 is x plus 2, because of 2 is x minus 2, and then x minus 3. So these are the 4 factors. So if I substitute a test point, which I forgot to write, let me write down the test points also. So in each interval we'll take test points. Okay, so let me insert test point. You should have a different column for this. So let me write it in a different ink so that it doesn't really mess up. Left side of minus 3 we could say minus 4. Between minus 3 and minus 2 it could be minus 2.5. Between minus 2 and 2, 0 is a good point, 2.5, and we can take plus 4. Now, if I substitute minus 4 here, I do get a negative term, right? So we are not interested in writing negative 1. The sign is good enough. Negative 2.5 will give us a positive term, and all these will also give us positive term. The idea of writing these factors from left to right is, you will appreciate, is a pattern which you are going to get in the signs. X plus 2. When it's 2 minus 4, it's negative, minus 2.5 negative, 0, and all these terms will give me positive. X minus 2, negative, 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 positive. This will give me negative, negative, negative. Even 2.5 will give me negative, and then we get a positive. So you observe this pattern. If you write the factors the way I have written, in that case, you will get a pattern and you will not make any mistake. Now the idea is that what is the value of this particular function? So let's call this function as f of x, right? Now this particular function f of x is product of all these. When you multiply 4 negatives, what do you get? You get a positive, correct? 3 negatives is a negative, 2 negative, product is positive, 1 is negative, all positive means positive. The inequality for us is less than equal to. So when it is equal to, zeros will be included, right? And less than means negative. And that gives us the solution is these intervals. Is that okay? So these are the intervals. So those are the solutions for us. So we can now write down the solution for the inequality. The solution is, we can say x is between this interval, which is, we should include both the zeros because of that sign there. So it is between minus 3 and minus 2, or the other one is between 2 and 3, right? So between 2 and 3. There are different ways of writing this. You could write like this. You could also write square, which means including, right? Minus 3, minus 2. So you include the whole interval, including the zeros, union instead of or, you can say, and then between 2 and 3. Correct? So that becomes the solution. Easy check for this inequality is always a graph. So we have a degree 4 polynomial, leading coefficient is positive, that means right side is up, right? That means right side is up. So right side is up. Since it is degree 4, both same sides, right? Both same sides. So if I have to sketch it, all are linear zeros, they will cross. Is that okay? So connecting these things, we get a graph. So from the graph, you can very easily see that the negative portions are here. So that is a very quick check, and also at times, if it is not specified, instead of intervals method, you can use graph. So my recommendation is that if the method is not specified, in that case, use graph and get your solution. I hope it really helps you and bring everything together to understand how to solve polynomial functions which are factorable. I mean, inequalities involved with polynomial functions, right? I'm Anil Kumar. You can subscribe and learn a lot from my videos. Thank you and all the best.